United Nations defines the right to food as the right to have regular, permanent, and unrestricted access, either directly or by means of financial purchases, to quantitatively and qualitatively adequate and sufficient food corresponding to the cultural traditions of the people to which the consumer belongs, and which ensure a physical and mental, individual and collective, fulfilling and dignified life free of fear. The right to food has four dimensions: availability, accessibility, adequacy, and food safety.
Commonly, the concept of food security is defined as including both physical and economic access to food that meets people's dietary needs as well as their food preferences. In 2014, the Philippines was the 30th most populated country in the world, with a population of about 107 million. Its gross domestic product, or GDP, growth rate for the last quarter of 2014 was 6.9%, more than the 6.3% of the same period in 2013. Despite the booming economy, benefits are not necessarily trickling down or elevating poverty. In 2014, the Philippines Global Hunger Index was 13.1. This index is based on three indicators: undernourishment, child underweight, and child mortality. It uses a scale of 0, meaning no hunger, to 100, meaning hunger. The ideal score is less than 5, which indicates low hunger. The country is therefore ranked 29th in the world, with its situation categorized as a serious problem. In the last quarter of 2014, an estimated 3.8 million households were victims of hunger. Out of this, 13.2% of Filipinos experienced moderate hunger and 4.1% severe hunger. But in 2014, the average hunger rate decreased by a single-digit point, 1.2 points, compared to the 2013 average of 19.5%. The people suffering from hunger in the Philippines are mainly children and women. There was a minimal decrease in the number of underweight children, from 20.7% in 2003 to 20.2% in 2011. Further, alarmingly, 33.6% of children under 5 years old are suffering from stunted growth in the same year, which placed the country's 9th in the world rankings of stunted children. Pregnant women in the Philippines also count amongst the people suffering the most from hunger. According to the Food Nutrition Research Institute, or FNRI, 1/4 of pregnant women with children aged below 5 years are nutritionally at risk, while close to 12% of lactating mothers are underweight. According to the FAO, food security depends not only in the availability and access to sufficient food, but also on political stability and the absence of violence or terrorism.
The Food and Nutrition Research Institute of the Department of Science and Technology calls hunger a severe form of food insecurity. Prolonged hunger may lead to malnutrition, illness, mental and physical growth retardation, among many other complications. Hunger, the Food and Agriculture Organization explained, is food deprivation, but the issue of food security is not limited to food alone. Food security has 4 dimensions: physical availability of food, economic and physical access, utilization, and stability. All 4 dimensions must be fulfilled simultaneously, according to the FAO. Aside from the socio-economic status of households, a country's policies and social services catering to the needs of its citizens are equally important. Even if your food intake is adequate today, you are still considered to be food insecure if you have inadequate access to food on a periodic basis, risking a deterioration of your nutritional status, FAO stressed. Aside from duration, severity of food insecurity is also significant. Severity of undernourishment depends on the population's dietary energy consumption, whether it is sufficient or not. Simply put, all hungry people are food insecure, but not all food insecure people are hungry, as there are other causes of food insecurity, including those due to poor intake of micronutrients. Another layer to this dilemma is the lack of awareness and information about proper nutrition. Some people may be eating a lot, but this does not mean they are eating well. It is the nutrients that matter. To address the issue of vulnerability to hunger, FAO emphasized the need to reduce the degree of exposure to hazards and to increase the ability to cope. Countries must be ready to address future threats to food security. FAO advises countries to create safety nets which can be enhance people's direct access to food. These include targeted direct feeding programs for students, expectant and nursing mothers, children under 5 years old, may include soup kitchens and special canteens. Food for work programs provide food while also developing useful infrastructure such as irrigation, roads, health centers, and schools. Income transfer programs in cash or coins such as food stamps or subsidized rations. Attention must be given to those who are chronically unable to work due to age, disabilities, or disasters. In the Philippines, feeding programs are being implemented in selected schools by the Department of Social Welfare and Development and the Department of Education. DepEd also advises canteens to provide nutritious meals and to ban unhealthy snacks. Recently, a bill seeking the ban of soft drinks in schools was filed in Congress. The department implements nutrition education and Gulayan sa Paaralan, a vegetable gardening program across schools. The Department of Health promotes food fortification through its Sangkap Pinoy Seal program, which encourages food manufacturers to fortify products with micronutrients. The Republic Act 8976, or the Philippine Food Fortification Act of 2000, promotes the fortification of staple foods like rice, wet flour, refined sugar, and cooking oil to compensate for the inadequacies in the Filipino diet. However, not all products are actually being fortified and sold to more consumers. DOH also conducts Operation Timbang to monitor the nutrition status of Filipino children. DSWD's Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program provides cash grants on the condition that families send their children to school and health checkups. Other DSW efforts include livelihood and skills training programs and community gardens, among others. The National Nutrition Council prepared the National Nutrition Council prepared the Philippine Plan of Action for Nutrition 2011-2016, which sets the country's strategies for achieving its nutrition targets. Meanwhile, the National Food Authority is vested the functions of ensuring the food security of the country and the stability of supply and price of the staple grain rice. However, NFA rice has been at the center of criticism in the past years. The Nutrition Center of the Philippines, a non-profit organization, conceptualized Nutripan sa Eskwelahan. It establishes bakeries in primary schools and communities selling Nutripan, bread fortified with iron and vitamin A, at an affordable price. The profit Fuck the profits. The population of the Philippines as of August 1, 2015 was 100,981,437 based on the 2015 Census of Population by the Philippine National Statistics Authority.
Skip to. Go ahead. You got it.
Like the mileage. I have no idea exactly.
Go. You got it. You got it.
More than 8 hours a week. Okay, well.
This is my girl right here. I love her to bits. She is the best. This is my girl. He's like, oh my god, are you kidding me? I just got steak and potatoes. Good job, Ella. Ella, you're amazing. I think you just made his day. I think you just made his week. How does that make you feel?
I like it.